Feeling overwhelmed by everything that's happened in the last month or so, I hear you, I got you. So whether you're an individual developer or you work from agency, whether you've just heard about SDK or functions, or you've already built your first app, there's something for you. Plus some other major news, we've got custom grok functions, and we've got a way for you to save your query in Vision. But first, an AI agent that's kind of like a coworker, no really, and a Pokemon style demo to showcase a new overlay plugin we have and why sometimes it's better to edit in presentation over structure tool. Well, we're here to talk about something that we kind of briefly mentioned in our spring release, but we didn't actually go into depth, the AI agent. So can you first introduce yourself and then talk a little bit about, what is the AI agent?
Yeah. First of all, I'm Rosti. I work as a software engineer here at Santi. I've been tasked with creating a brand new agent for our Santi dashboard in order to be able to communicate, query, um, and edit your content essentially using natural language.
Cool. I feel like it's always good to see things in action. So I think we should just demo it so people can understand, what it looks like.
Definitely. So the AI agent exists in your dashboard. It's a way for you to query your admin studio. You can imagine a organization the size of Santi has a lot of document types, and it sometimes gets a little bit hard to figure out like where I can actually edit content. The other day, I wanted to edit our pricing page. So what I did was I just asked using natural language. I prompted it with, where can I edit our pricing page?
Simple as that.
Simple as that. And it will take a second. It will analyze our resources. You can see that the agent found a couple of studios
Mhm.
here. We'll go with the website one. You can see that it's thinking again. It's saying, "Oh, I found this page type.
Nice.
Actually found the page, and we can go into this page now. And we can edit it. We can even ask what plans are available."
This is super helpful. I feel like sometimes when I go into our studio, and one of our studios, I was like, okay, I need to find this. And sometimes, I don't know where it is because I haven't used it. So this will be super helpful to just find the exact place where I'm supposed to edit. So
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this really helps a lot with
mm,
onboarding, with like new people that haven't even touched a Santi studio before. They can now easily navigate around the studio by just asking.
definitely.
We like to think about the agent as sort of a
Mhm.
coworker that you can ask stupid questions to without like feeling bad about the questions
Right.
even.
There's no bad questions, but especially not to your AI agent, right? Like you actually will just get good answers
Yeah,
quickly.
definitely.
So
Yeah, so you can see that I asked what plans are available, and it actually gave me like a link directly to those document types, and you can see me switching between
mhm.
these. We can even ask like, what releases do we have? Doesn't really matter if you misspell releases or any type of word; we'll understand it.
That's also nice because I feel like typos happen all the time and it's just annoying to go back and fix it. So it's good to be able to just continue the conversation, right?
Definitely, yeah. We have 3 releases currently, agent action updates. I might be leaking some stuff here, but we have some documentation changes. We can even ask like what the agent action updates are about, what documents are in
Hmm.
there, summarize it for
Yep.
us. Uh, we can even add maybe additional documents to this release that are related.
Speaking of agent actions, that's actually something that is helping the agent, right?
It is. So our agent relies on our own MCP
Hmm.
server. Our MCP server is open source, available to the public,
Yep.
and the MCP tools themselves run on top of agent actions
Nice.
in order to do mutations and query our data sets.
Yeah. And if you don't know about agent actions, it's one of the new things from our spring release. I'll link everything so you can kind of find out more about what agent actions does as well. But cool. And then there's some technology, obviously, that you have worked with to build kind of the workflow that the agent has, or it's kind of back and forth and how it kind of interprets text. And I know you've worked on something that has been around for a little while, but seems to have been very proven. Can you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So as you can see here, we're essentially just streaming
Hmm.
Markdown from our agent service. But in order to expand on the Markdown spec, I was really thinking like, what can we do here in order to render these links here and components and the reasoning so it becomes beautiful for the end
Mm.
user. So I was going back and forth. I was thinking about MDX. And MDX is a good standard, but it's not really safe in a way where you can like trust everything that it
Okay.
renders. So I was searching around, and then I came over this old spec here from 2014 or
Hmm.
proposal. This is a proposal on directives or a directive syntax. It's a way to extend the Markdown spec and add additional components to it. We have three types of directives here. We have an inline directive syntax, we have a leaf block directive syntax, and we have a container block directive syntax. Starting off with the inline one, it's essentially just a way to add a link in a paragraph or heading or just any type of Markdown content,
Hmm.
whilst a leaf block is yeah, essentially just like a block. A container block directive wraps a series of blocks, so that's perfect for rendering our reasoning.
Mm. So this, yeah, this is what you use. Obviously, you can see here which one is which, right? Should be.
Yeah. So this is the reasoning here is a container directive. It wraps a series of headings and paragraphs. The leaf directives are presented in this way here, and we can easily like expand on this. You can imagine asking for how many blog posts have been written in the past year and getting a visual chart.
Mm. Nice.
Whilst here we have a link. So this link is rendered using a inline directive. It's a really fun spec, and it seems like the LLM has a good understanding on how to write it.
Definitely. I think it's nice where it's a bit more interactive. And instead of just having texts and links, it's actually like you can click it and you can kind of find out more. And it's still keeping it kind of, a clear user interface, but you can kind of expand on it when you want to find out more about what you've asked, right? So
Yeah, definitely.
awesome. Well, obviously, you're working on this. This is in private beta. So we are releasing this soon to some people to try it out more. But what's kind of next when it comes to this Sanity agent?
So next up for the Santi agent, I think would be batch actions. So you can imagine having a set of documents too large for a context limit. Um, let's say 1,000, 3,000, 10,000 documents. Let's say you have a company that want to branch out into another country and you want to translate all of those documents. Well, you can just assign that task to your agent. You can just say, oh, we're opening a new division in
Hmm.
Sweden. Uh, can you create a translation of all of our blog posts, all of our documentation articles, the pricing page, and it will just do that. It will send you a notification once it's done, and you don't have to think about it.
Amazing. So it can basically, yeah, it's like a true coworker, right? You can just say like, this is kind of what I want, and can you get a draft for me? And then you can still review it and make sure that it's the changes that you want before you publish. So I think it's always that human in the loop aspect, which is nice, which you probably always want, right? Instead of just like blindly publishing something, but it's nice when it can do like the bulk of the job for you.
Definitely. So yeah, you can imagine um, tasking it with something and getting a couple of documents
Mm.
back, so you can You can verify that the output is correct before proceeding with editing 10,000 or creating 10,000
Yeah.
documents. This will, of course, be built on top of the existing agent actions as
Hmm.
well. So you know that the formatting of the document and the language of the document will be preserved and won't be like AI-ified.
Right. Yeah, yeah. No, you easily see when things are AIified. You do want to make sure that you keep your structure in place. So, uh,
Yeah,
lovely. Well, anything else you want to add to this?
yeah, I think the coolest thing about having an agent live inside the dashboard itself is that it's context
Hmm.
aware. So if you go into release, you don't really have to like prompt the agent over and over. Oh, I'm in this release.
Mm.
Oh, I want to do this release. It's aware of what you're looking at, what field you're at, or document you're in. So if you ask it to rewrite a title whilst being inside of a document, it will just understand that, and it won't really have to ask or confirm over and over.
Right. So it's very aware of its context, of its surrounding. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see that when I entered the studio, it was aware that, oh yeah, I'm now inside of the studio. So when I asked what releases do I have, it didn't have to ask me again
Mm.
about like what studio we're targeting. Already knows that we're inside of the studio. We want to ask about the
Mm.
studio. You can of course ask for other types of applications whilst being within an application.
Hmm.
Um, you can imagine like copying one document from one studio to another. So it will do that, but it will of course prioritize the resource you're in.
Nice. Okay, good. So, yeah, it knows how to prioritize basically, which is good. Well, thank you for sharing and for showing what it looks like now and what it will look like in the future. This is in private beta, but please let us know in the comments if you're keen on trying this and we'll make sure to update you when it's ready for more people to try. Thanks.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, hey, I'm James. I'm a software engineer here at Sanity. Been here for, I think it's about 3 months now. One more month
Well,
than
yeah.
last month. I'm losing
Yeah.
count now. Yeah.
Awesome. And Rupert, quick intro.
Yeah, also a software engineer at Sanity, and I've been here for almost 2 years now, working on presentation and visual editing mostly.
Nice. So you're the two perfect people to talk to about this new thing that we have, which is the custom overlay plugin API. James, maybe if you can talk a little bit just what it is, and then we're gonna head into a demo with Rupert as well.
Sure. Yeah. So we're showing you today a new plugin API for the presentation overlay to allow you to
Mhm.
kind of add custom controls and like heads up display to your presentation view, which will allow you to kind of surface more information and offer kind of custom controls to edit content over the page itself.
Nice. And I know Rupert's gonna show a really cool demo in a minute, but can you please show a little bit just what it looks like and maybe a little bit about the code behind this?
Sure. Let me grab some. So let me just show you, first of all, what it actually looks like, and we can dive a bit into the code and how that
Yep.
works secondly. So usually you might be familiar with hovering over different parts in the presentation tool where you can easily click on things to edit them and to take you to the correct location in like the studio pane. But what we've actually added now is a plugin API for you to easily define custom controls and like heads up display to these different overlay elements. So here you can see I've got like 37 words, like a simple word count kind of plugin. We've got some emojis showing up here, all these different kind of controls. Um, and over here for the image, we've got the resolution and some custom like product data pulling through. Um, so these are interactive. You can throw in any kind of React component you would like
Hmm.
to here. You could surface like third-party information, maybe some analytics, like a product release date, a countdown, these kind of things. You could also use these to kind of edit the document and have like shortcuts if you're performing kind of repetitive actions. You just want like a quick thing to be able to change some data like that. That's what the heads-up display is great for.
So it's different plugins or it's the same plugin that you configure in different ways?
So we've got quite a few different plugins running here. So these are all isolated, such as like the image resolution is its
Mhm.
own plugin that can be thrown onto any images on a page. And the LED lifetime here is a different one. And you can configure these on the plugin side for what kind of data they support to make sure they're on the right elements, but also from the user side. So the per project side, you can also configure whereabouts in the website you want it to show, so it doesn't end up spamming every plugin on every
Yeah,
piece
that
of
makes
content.
sense. You don't want to have it
We can-
everywhere
yeah.
at all times, probably. You want to control that as well.
For sure. Yeah.
Nice.
And so that's the heads up display plugin. And there's also a different type of plugin, which we're kind of calling the exclusive plugin right now, which is because it takes exclusive control of the overlay. And here you can see with this new menu on the label of an overlay, you can add different options here. So this is the crop image plugin. This is an exclusive plugin that we're testing out right now as a demo. And it would allow you to kind of grab an image and adjust the crop information on that image overlaid on the page. So you wouldn't have to kind of jump into the studio pane. You don't need to know where it is on the document. You can just kind of grab that image and edit that information on top of the page
So more
itself.
granular control, basically, over each and individual components, which is great.
Exactly. Yeah, and you don't need to go diving through the documents. If you know where it is on the page and you want to change what it looks like in this context, you can just jump in and do that. Now, this is just like a quick demo to show what could be made with this. And we're going to link to the GitHub repos for the examples of this.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
anything you can share in the code where, what people should think of when they implement this?
Yeah, we can jump into how that works in the code. A new prop on the visual editing component here, which is for plugins. And using that, you can provide an array of plugins that you want to load onto your overlay. So if we jump into this file down here, we can see we've got quite a few plugins loaded up. And each of these are isolated. They can each have their own different components and options set to them. And we've got quite a few here, like the LED lifespan HUD plugin, showing the image resolution plugin. And we have a few extra ones here, like the word count and the image crop tool. And each of these can be set up to have their own custom options and a guard function to define what they should be displayed on. So for example here, this title plugin only shows on elements which has the node path ending with title. And then this one only shows on elements with the node path ending with headline. So you can kind of have that really granular control to show this plugin only on the exact elements you want it to on the page.
Nice. I like the exciting title plugin name as well.
Yeah, that's thanks to Rupert. That's a great one, that one. And it's quite a fun one because when you click the button, it adds the character to the end of the title. So you can see as I click that, we had the little question mark pop up on the end. And that's, So you got the button text here. You've got what it appends to the end of the string. It's just quite a fun one to show what could be done with that.
Definitely. No, great. Thanks for sharing. It's always good to see the code behind. So exactly how you'd actually go about setting this up yourself.
Okay. So as a way to kind of demo, I guess the power of custom overlays, I kind of built this this little game, which is a slightly novel example of how you might use them, but I think kind of quite clearly demonstrates kind of the power of editing your content in situ or in context. So we'll go through. You can see presentations pulling in all the documents that I have in this data set for the different levels of this game. So if I select one, it's kind of like a top-down, like Pokemon style thing, and you can see this level is defined by this level document. So if I click into it, you see the level's got like a title, and really the definition of this level is the tiles that make it make up the level. So yeah, the tiles kind of like are the, how do I explain this? Yeah, so the level is kind of like it's essentially just an array of tiles. So if you were to edit this in the structure tool, it wouldn't really be particularly useful because you've just got essentially one massive array of potentially hundreds of items.
Yeah.
And you can see each tile is like a different type. So you've got like a grass type, a bricks type, a water type, etc. And what's really cool about overlays is you can obviously like click to edit them. So I can click one and edit it in the structure pane. But what's really powerful about custom overlays now is that we can mount these interactive controls using plugins. So this is like a HUD plugin, but it's not just displaying information. It's actually allowing you to control the content in situ and mutate it directly from your app. So what I can do, if I just turn overlays off and move my character around a little bit, you can see at the moment we've got this kind of like river that's going across the level, but we don't have a way to cross the river. So if I move my character and try and cross the river, I die and the game's over. So the level editor might want to come in and say, okay, well, this is a mistake. Obviously, this should be a bricks tile, but it's a water tile. So if I turn overlays on and hover over this one, I can click and just edit the tile in situ.
It's
so I don't have
simple
to go
as
through the
that.
list.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I can cross the river. So yeah, this is kind of like I actually built this level just by I think I started off just completely with grass tiles, and I just went around clicking and making little paths and changing things.
Right.
So it's kind of like a fun little way to demo this. And then we also have these exclusive plugins that James was showing. So we have, by default, we're using the HUD plugin to change the tile type because that's the kind of most common thing you'd be doing. But say we wanted to add an item to this tile, because in this game, the way that you win it is you have to find the potato with your character. So I can use this exclusive plugin, and I can just I should probably show that again. Actually, I can enable the exclusive plugin and switch item type. So
Right.
I'll change it back to a potato, and then turn overlays off again, and I go to the potato, and I win the game.
And you win. Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, it's it's not a typical scenario that we envisage for people, but yeah, it's kind of like a novel, as I said, like a novel way of showing the kind of power of custom overlays, and also just a kind of usefulness of being able to edit your data in context, visually.
Definitely. It's super powerful to be able to edit in presentation mode, especially for things like this that are like a long area of things, right? It's great to be able to actually see where you're editing instead of just looking at a long list of things that are similar, because it's a lot of grass or a lot of tiles. So
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Nice. And obviously this is something that you're now. We will have docs very, very soon. But in the meantime, you can check out the GitHub repo that I'll share in the description. And James, Rupert, the team will be in Discord as well. So if you do have some questions, if you are playing around with this, please come and ask there as well. Because yeah, we wanted to make sure that we get this in front of people as soon as possible, because yeah, it's very exciting. So thank you.
Amazing.
Cool.
That's all for this roundup. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any content that comes out throughout the month. If you're keen on trying the AI agents, let us know in the comments. In the meantime, I will see you in Discord.